Welcome to Youth Baseball Talk with Gabriel and Chris.
Today's guest is Anthony Jones of the Raiders Baseball Club. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey, thanks for joining us. How long have you been with this organization for?
We started this organization up in, I would say, December of last year.
Okay, so it's fairly new. You're getting out there. Are you the head guy of the organization?
Yeah, I run last year we started with the 12U AA team.
Okay.
And that was the team I was responsible for. I was the head coach on that team.
So what made you want to run an organization? Because that's kind of hard, man. That's a lot of commitment.
It's tough because, I mean, even the decision to go and be independent was a tough decision in its own, because I had started up with a family member of mine. We started up our own organization, and that didn't work out. So I decided, all right, well, half the parents didn't want to go to a big club, and half of them wanted to stay independent. So I said, all right, well, we can weigh out the options, and I brought up Diamond Prospects, and I said we can go and do that, but they wanted to stay independent. So we stayed, and we started up the Garland Raiders, is No Games Raiders, and we started that up December just to kind of keep the kids together. That way nobody left out. And there was only 2 kids that I lost, but I mean, you lose 2, I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really good, man.
I mean, you can replace 2 rather than 4 or 5.
Right.
So how are you able to manage coaching and running the organization?
I have a lot of help. There's a guy, Wally Palomo. He's the guy who he had this team before he brought him over to me. He basically runs all the financial side. He makes sure that, you know, basically he handles the finances. I actually did come in, and I handled all the uniform ordering. I handled basically all the setting up all the tournaments. I pretty much did the coaching and all the registration.
So you do
and all
like
that stuff.
Basically baseball operations.
Yeah, I was all the above.
So this year, what are your coaching goals for the team?
My goals for this season is to since we're moving to the bigger field, I want to make sure that we're developing and getting stronger, faster, There's more field to cover, so we need to get faster, and the pitching distance is longer. Short third is longer, so we need to just get stronger to be able to make those throws. And with the team I have is, you know, we were wrecked, so some of the kids I have they're not the strongest kids, but they play the game the right way. So they might not be the strongest and fastest kids, but, you know, right now that's what we're working on, is trying to strengthen up and get faster.
Nice. What is the most difficult part of being a youth baseball coach?
The most difficult is probably understanding that they're kids. And, you know, trying to, with my background, I come from starting with high school kids. So I started with 18U, 17U, and then I made the switch to youth and started with 11U. Started with 11U. And making that jump, I had to kind of sit back and say, oh, I have to slow down and kind of break this down a little more. Not be so much over the top. Really it's really just breaking everything down a lot more, and versus being with the high school kids. And that was a lot that was pretty difficult for me at the beginning of it. But over the last year and a half, it's kind of gelled in with me now. It's a lot easier now.
There you go. That's good, man.
So what made you get into coaching?
I played ball around here. I went to North Garland High School. I graduated in 2012, and I ended up going to Richland College.
Okay.
Played there 2 years, and then after Richland, I played at Guy Simmons. He's the coach there. And after those 2 years, I was just umpiring over the summer, and I ran into Tryson Cummings, who runs the Diamond Prospects, and I ran into him, who was actually my 18U coach. And he spoke to me and said, hey, man, you're out here umpiring on the weekends. Like, why don't you get into coaching? And I was like, well, I mean, I still have 2 more years of eligibility. I want to see what this is about. And he kind of talked me into coaching. So I went and coached for that summer, and I was coaching with him, and his brother is actually a coach at a college in Oklahoma. He's not there anymore, but he coached at a college in Oklahoma. He came and was saw me coaching and was like, man, I like your attitude. Like, why don't you come play with me at my college? And I thought about it a little bit, and then wife got pregnant and
Yeah,
family started, and I said, man, perfect time for me to just go into coaching.
that's
And
right.
so after my son was about to be coming on the way, I said, well, I don't want to miss any of the first, so I'll stay here and start my coaching career.
Oh, yeah.
And so I started coaching with the Diamond Prospects, and
How many years ago was that?
that was 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're still a fresh coach. I'll call that a fresh coach.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's good, man. So you're getting your feet
Yeah,
wet. It's fun.
And I've been coaching since about, because I was coaching a little bit during school
Okay.
as well. So about 2013.
Gotcha.
So how many tournaments do you plan on playing this year?
This fall, probably gonna do the Frisco Doubleheader League on Sundays, and then we'll do probably about 2 tournaments. 2 tournaments. We plan on doing Perfect Game down in Houston, and
That's a hard tournament, Playboy. That's a hard tournament.
It's a different league.
Yeah.
We went down there with the 11U team, and whoo-wee.
and that's what I want. I want
Yeah.
the competition, because I mean, we could go and enter. Like last year, we were AA most of the season, but
Mhm.
once, I mean, halfway through, it's like, man, we're beating teams pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, we finally got the bump, but I want the competition, and there's no way for my team to get better if they're playing lesser.
Oh,
every
yeah.
week. So fall, I mean, let's go out there and see what the branch is about. Let's go out and see how strong it is.
We went out there and saw majors teams. Boy,
Yeah, they
boy,
don't
we're
play.
like, ooh, these teams, man. Teams from all over the country, man. It was fun. It was crazy to see the size difference of some of these 11U majors players. Some of them like his height, my
Yeah.
height. It's like,
Big boys, skinny
Yeah.
boys.
where they get these
They all
boys
do it.
from, man? It was fun to watch.
Yeah, I was at the baseball youth All-American over this past weekend.
Oh, yeah? How was
Man,
that?
Some of those kids, you're like, how can I see birth certificate?
Right.
I was watching the 13U, and when the catcher out there, he looked like he was 16, 17.
A big boy. So you already answered my question that I was going to ask, what tournament you're looking forward to playing and why. So it was the Perfect Game one.
hmm
That's awesome, man. So you want to have your boys, so you are AAA?
Right now,
What,
yeah.
what age group?
13 and 14 would be,
Oh, 13,
13
14.
and 14 would be AAA. Well, the reason we have the 2 teams now is I had the team that's going to be 13 AAA. Well, last season they were 12 AAA.
Mhm.
But half of that team, since they came from rec, when they were 10U, they came over to me at 11U, and that's really when we started with the other club. And then
Gotcha.
12U, we were all AA, but I really kind of wanted them to be more seen. So
Right.
kind of get them more out there.
Yeah. That's fun.
Since you plan on doing Perfect Game, are you going to be doing more practices with your kids to
Yeah.
get them ready for
We practice 3 times a week. We practice
Nice.
3 times a week, and that way that Sunday doubleheader is just, I get my pitchers in that don't really pitch a lot.
Yeah. That's good.
that? And so how do you manage your pitchers?
Fall league specifically, I don't like to let my guys get over 30, 40 pitches. I really think of it, and I tell my parents the same thing, is I'd rather have them at 16, 17 than have them
Right.
throwing gas at 12, 13. I mean, I want them to be successful in the long run.
Mhm.
And I haven't seen anybody get a contract at 13U. So
Right.
why waste it here?
Exactly.
Let's build it up and save it for high school.
That's fun, man. So are most of your kids out of the Garland area, or do you have kids from all around the
I have
DFW?
I have one kid that's from Grapevine. I have another one that lives in Wichita Falls.
Okay.
And that's probably about it. Everybody else is Garland, Wiley, and I think that's about it. Garland, Wiley.
You need to link up with Elijah. I think you know Elijah with the Garland Bombers.
Elijah coaches my son.
Oh, really?
He's my son's coach for the
Or
Garland Bombers.
What age?
6U.
Oh, 6 years?
Yeah.
Oh, the little guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He coaches my boy.
He's a good guy. He just got his team back together, it looks like.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I'm proud for him, man.
Yeah.
Because we have the same vision for
Right.
Garland, the city of Garland, and it's really just to to get more baseball guys in there. And the issue right now in Garland is kids are coming up, but it's not like Frisco or McKinney.
Mhm.
They get to 12, and it's like, okay, the parks you have, they're not very good.
Right.
And then they're still playing under dads. Not that dads are wrong. Elijah's son's on all this team.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great coach. You wouldn't even know his son's on the team.
Right.
But I just like it that his vision was the same as mine, and we're trying to really help the city of Garland build kids up.
Oh yeah,
And,
for sure.
I mean, we don't really do a lot of like advertising. So it's like, we're trying to get kids homegrown, grow where you're planted type of thing.
Exactly. So you grew up in Garland as well, and you're gonna feed the Garland kids into playing baseball in the Garland ISD districts and whatnot.
Yeah, and we have, it's not a bad district. Saxe, Rowlett.
Right.
Saxe, Rowlett, Naaman Forest. We've had McKinney Boyd come in and out. We've had Rockwall come in and out. It's not a bad district at all. It's just you have the three that are central, the Garland, North Garland, South Garland. They kind of get left aside. And it's really, I just feel like the city they don't really give us the funds to keep everything up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's tough.
Oh, I hear that. Yeah, there's teams here in Dallas that some of their high school kids never played before, and then they join the baseball team, and it's like, have you ever put on a glove? No. And, it's a school, Thomas Jefferson High School. I don't know if you heard of them, but, maybe 2 kids on their team have played baseball before. The rest never touched the ball field.
That's exactly how it was for me going all throughout high school.
And so I wish, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I wish Dallas had more of coaches like y'all that want to homegrown these kids, so that way they feed into these schools and it's like, oh, okay, cool. You played ball before. You're not just out here. And you're a soccer player and we need kids. So
that's why at this point now I have my 13, 14-year-olds. I have them practicing at the high school. So that way the high school coach, he can come down and see them whenever he wants and really gets them early on the bigger field and get them around the atmosphere of, because sometimes the high school boys are coming off while we're getting in and it really gets them to see, okay, this is how practice is supposed to be ran and this is the demeanor you're supposed to get around the field and everything like that.
And sometimes it's fun to take those boys to go watch the older kids play. It's like, that could be you someday, man, on this field here at home. And they really think about it and they're like, that could be me. And that makes them want to play baseball more. It's great playing other sports, but when, baseball's a hard sport to play. Not everyone can play it at, getting into the high school level. And they didn't play when they were babies. But that's cool, man. I like what you are doing. We need more coaches like you out there.
Me and Elijah, I love the Garland Bombers, man. They've done a lot of good things, especially with these older teams. I mean, they've been majors basically since
they were babies. Unfortunately, my son's team had the pleasure of playing against them almost every weekend. And there were some wins, there's some losses. They're a great team. They're fun. A lot of ball players on that team.
The structure of the whole program is great. Of how they run everything.
I like how they hold little tournaments here and there, and the tournaments turn out a lot of great teams out there. So, do you plan on holding any tournaments for your?
I've spoke with
your kids.
I've spoke with a guy about hosting a tournament. We haven't got deep into details about it. With this being our basically second year of going into first year of fall, but about to be our second year of spring. Really just trying to make sure that everything's set in stone first before we try and go further than we need to, or further than we can. So I don't want to reach out further than our reach is right now. So I just
you don't want to take a big old bite and choke, huh?
So I'm like, well, let's just take it slow. I'll take it slow and let it build how it should be, and Godspeed. We'll get there when we get there.
Are y'all doing any fundraisers or tournaments?
We'll be doing a few fundraisers over the fall. We do candles. What do we do? Another chocolates. Chocolates are always good, especially with the kids going back to school now. I mean, hopefully it'll play out. This everything's not picking up again, but hopefully they can stay in school, and that helps. That really helps with the fundraising because it gets the kids around other ones, and teachers, they help out. The teachers really they cling on to kids, and they like that kid. They'll buy 20 of whatever he's got.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because we haven't ever talked about teachers or kids' schools either. It's cool because Mark's my son. So if you hear Mark, when he was in elementary school, his teacher was like, her kids played ball, and she's like, he plays baseball. You gotta let us know his schedule. We'll come to the games, and that's cool. like you said, they cling on to these
Yeah.
kids a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll come out and support that kid, which some of these kids need that support because, you know, a parent can't be there or both parents can't be there because they got to work,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So, you know, that's cool on those teachers' parts that cling on to these kids,
Yeah.
man.
And it really helps. It really helps them out, and it builds the confidence in the kid too. It makes them feel like, okay, I have support here, even though, you know, like you're saying, they might not have all support in the home, but if they're getting support elsewhere,
That pumps them up, especially if it's from school.
Yeah.
What's that going to make them? I want to go. I want to go to school. I want to go to Miss Smith's class and
get them happy about going to class.
Exactly.
Let me tell her about my baseball game.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly, Chris. That's gonna be the highlight. Oh, I'm gonna go to school Monday. I'm gonna tell Miss Smith that I made a home run. You know, get some excited for
that's what I
stole home or something.
Dude, I've never thought about that. You're the first coach to bring that up about the teachers and the community.
I mean, because they're just like us.
Yeah,
they're just like us, the coaches. I mean, we're in coaching for the betterment of the kid, of the child.
Exactly.
To get them prepared for the next level. Same thing is going on with the teachers. They're trying to get them. They care about that child.
Mm-hmm.
If that child doesn't succeed, then
they're not succeeding.
They're not succeeding. So they're gonna put their all into all their kids the same way as we do. And if they can support them elsewhere, I mean, just like I just came up from baseball youth.
You're good, bro.
My sons go to sleep. I just came up from that baseball youth, and I didn't have any kids down there. I was just down there to support my kids and make sure that they understood that, hey, I'm here for you in the long run.
Yeah.
And no matter where we're at, I'm gonna, if I can be there to support you, I'll support you.
That's good, Coach. Well, we're gonna leave it at that, man. Thanks for coming in and talking with us.
Thank you, man. Thank y'all for having me.
No problem.
And if there's anything else you'd like to say
it now.
No, I mean, just one thing for all the kids out there: don't stop working.
There you go.
Don't stop working. Our little, you see the NG on here is no games, and it's really kind of a mentality that my whole group goes by. And no games is we get to the field, we don't play any game.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to play no games. We're strictly business, you know, no games. So they get that mentality going. They get to the field. We also say STB, set the bar.
There you
Get
go.
to the field, set the bar high. Because there's a lot of kids, they get to the field, they see other teams, and they got their hoodies and they got their all matching stuff, and they're like, man, that's an intimidating team to go against. Like, they, you know, that team is setting the bar high.
Yep.
So I really get into those are kind of the two things I really, mottos that we live by. No games when we get to the field and set the bar high.
I like it, Coach.
That's it.
I like it. All right, man. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anthony.